Texans. I'll have scores around the league for you at the half. But it's time for a little football. So we'll hand it over to our broadcast team, Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
Okay, Coach, on a wonderful fall afternoon in the state of Texas, the roof is open, and we've got football from NRG Stadium in Houston. They do it big here in Houston, and a second ago it was a Texas-sized welcome for their hometown guys. They're fired up and ready to go as they get set to match up with Derek Carr and the Oakland Raiders. From up top, I'm Brandon Godden. Charles Davis, as always, with me as well. And CD, defenses better be on their toes in this one because we got two quarterbacks who love to throw the football, and they throw it very well.
Over 4,000 yards each in the previous season. So what you're saying is, if you're a defender, hope you're prepared properly. Hydrated, stretched, be on your toes, as you said, because the ball's coming your way.
These teams about to reach the halfway point of this NFL season, and we're underway on EA Sports. This will be taken to the back of the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Derek Carr is set and ready to roll as he leads the Raiders out onto the field. Carr in his sixth season, 28 years of age, former second-round pick back in 2014, and a lot of people feel this is a critical season for Derek Carr as a Raider. Remember, there were whispers that the Raiders might be in the market for a QB in the draft, even contemplating maybe making a run at Kyler Murray, but in the end, they stood pat with Derek Carr, hoping that he's the long-term answer. On first down, nothing opening up really on the running play. Give him maybe a yard, and it'll be second down. A look now at the Oakland offense.
And there's offensive tackle Trent Brown, signed away from New England in the offseason on a 4-year, $66 million deal to protect his new quarterback in Oakland, Derek Carr. No stranger to the Bay Area. First 3 years in the league, but with San Francisco as a 49er, he can play left or right tackle.
The throw complete here to Williams. And he's taken down, but able to slip across the 35. 12 yards there and a first down. So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. Shotgun now for Carr. Caught. Safarian Jenkins, right side. These are his numbers from last week's contest. 7 catches, 52 yards.
That was a nice job there pulling that one in. Now, this is an offense that will certainly spread the ball around a bit, and this is a guy that defenses have better focus on.
Throwing again on second down. Carr under pressure, and the Texans able to get in there for the sack. Bernardrick McKinney muscled his way in for the sack. Throwing his Carr on third down. This is caught. It's Ryan Grant. And he'll be taken down, but not before he works it past the 50. 12 yards there as they keep this drive rolling. It's another first down. So a 1st and 10 now in Houston territory at the 49-yard line. This is the former Jet and Brown, Isaiah Crowell. And he'll get it down here to the 43. Bradley Roby, the quarterback, there to make the stop. On play action, now Carr. This is Crowell on the catch. And he'll get it inside the 40 to the 39. This game, this matchup means a little more to the Carr family. Derek Carr's brother David, of course, the first overall pick in 2002 by these Houston Texans. Spent 5 years as the Texans starter, and then he would eventually spend 6 more years as a backup in the league at various spots before calling it a career. It goes as a gain of 6, and it's a first down. Now a fake on the give here as they try the run-pass option. And that's going to be incomplete. Too tough to hold on to that one. It's second down. Now Carr, after the incomplete pass, brings him up 2nd and 10. Throwing again. Carr. Throw right side, complete to Williams. And they'll have it in the red zone before he crosses over out of bounds. Carr will come up here with a 1st and 10. And he's 5 for 6 now throwing the ball on this drive. Here's Carr to throw. Caught left side, Williams. And they've got it inside the 10 at the 8. 11 more on that one and another 1st down. They'll try and run for it on 1st and goal. And he will maneuver his way down to about the 7. Only a yard on the pickup there. 2nd and goal. The line of scrimmage, the 7 now on 2nd and goal. They keep it on the ground. This time it's Crowell. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. Nothing doing there as the 13th play of the drive proves to be unlucky. This has been a long drive. You got to figure a field goal would be a letdown. Can they convert now on 3rd and goal? Carr now to throw. That's complete right around the 8. And the stop will come inside the 5 at the 4. A gain of 5, but not enough. Leads to a 4th and goal.
They've got good playmakers on the offensive side of the ball. I don't know what happened last week to really hurt their performance and hold down their production, but I would dare say that this week in practice, there's a lot of talk about how they're going to increase their proficiency.
And that was a good start getting the playmakers involved. You mentioned that to me pregame. That's what they did there. Yeah,
I think a lot of people think the coaching staff really gets on them, and that's how they motivate them. Most of these guys are self-motivated. They have a lot of pride in their performance.
A first update now out of Jacksonville. And you saw the score at the bottom of your screen a moment ago. We got a good one going on there. Nick Foles, a first-quarter touchdown pass in that one. On 1st and 10, Watson. And he's going to drop this off to his fullback. Give him 7 on the play, and it's a 2nd down. Trying to get one more in here before the quarter breaks. They'll go with a draw. Watson hands to Miller. And he'll get it out to midfield. They'll spot it right at midfield at the 50. A gain of 5, good enough for the 1st down. They keep it with Miller on 1st down. And this will be taken across midfield and into Raider territory. In on the stop, it's Tahir Whitehead. On 2nd and 7, Watson. And this one grabbed by Darren Fells. They'll get 4 out of that, and it'll bring up a 3rd down. A good chance this is 4-down territory if they're unable to convert. But right now looking at a 3rd and 3. Here's Watson. Man open, that's Kiki QT, complete. And he's going to have another 1st down as the tackle comes at the Raiders' 27-yard line. To throw is Watson. Boy, the evolution of the game and how these guys on plays like that can get out of the pocket, keep plays alive, it just makes things so much harder for defenses.
It really does, and we're talking about an era in the game where the quarterbacks are the most athletically gifted that we've seen in a bunch. I mean, when you talk about collectively, it's unbelievable. So their ability to move is practiced now. It's not necessarily, oh, he just took off and you guys figure it out. When he takes off, everyone knows where to go now. They know how to run routes, change things, make themselves presentable for the quarterback. There's a lot of time that they put in on it. It's not just your static 1, 2, 3. This is where the ball goes anymore.
A loss of 2 there, 2nd down.
That's a really alert defense there because they saw the heavy look come in from the offense, countered it with extra linebackers who brought a little bit of speed and heft, and able to really make a big-time play for their defense.
That is caught. Hopkins for the Texans touchdown. DeAndre Hopkins hitting double digits with his 10th touchdown of the season. And the Texans have taken the lead. Extra point by Fairbairn, up and good. And that makes it a 7-3 lead. So after the touchdown, here's Fairbairn now to kick it away. This fielded at the 2. And not a bad return here. He gets it out to the 25-yard line. The Raider offense set to get this drive started. And last time they got 3 points, but it was a chip shot field goal. And when you go to the sideline after a chip shot field goal, maybe the offense not too happy.
It's a balancing act, isn't it? Because you're exactly right. They're none too pleased that they didn't punch it in for 6 points. They also have to remember they did put points on the board.
3 points is 3 points.
And in this league, you take points when you can get them. Not easily done.
Offense.
And that'll be accepted, of course, and that moves them back 5. They were looking good on second down, but now they're backed up 5 yards by the false start, and it's 2nd and 8. On the draw, Richard trying to run inside, but nothing there. Officially no gain on the play, and they're left with a 3rd and 8. The Texans here on 3rd down, putting an extra defender in the secondary. Working from the gun, it's Carr. And he will not be able to hang on through the contact. It's incomplete. The coverage strong, and now it's 4th down.
Didn't have a receiver open downfield, and as it turned out, couldn't even find his outlet man because of the coverage. It was way too tight, unable to find anyone open.
And no one there to stop it. Hits at the 8, but it carries all the way into the end zone for a touchback. A reminder, later tonight, Sunday Night Football will see a game in the NFL 100 series, a rematch of the very first AFL-NFL championship game, later, of course, known as Super Bowl I. It pits the Packers against the Chiefs from Arrowhead, and that should be a fun one. Now here's a pass on 1st down that's knocked away and incomplete. After the incompletion, here's 2nd and 10 from the 20. Watson with a give to Miller. And he's going to get 7 out of this before being taken down at the 27. 2 minutes to play in this first half. 7-3, our score. Coming up at halftime, we remind you once again that we're going to check in with Jonathan Coachman in Orlando. He'll have stats and scores from around the NFL as we reach now, arguably, the halfway point of the season. Time flying.
It certainly is. Time to get the sweaters out, my man. And this is why trying to cover the angle route is so difficult. Anyone playing the linebacker position, when they see a running back out of the backfield widen, because he heads towards the flat first, oftentimes you widen too much and overcommit. He cuts up inside, and that's what we saw there. A nice pickup for a 1st down.
And taking it across midfield and inside the 45. A good gain again. That's now 31 yards combined on those last 2 plays. Watson now to throw. Over the middle, it's Thomas. And he's going to get a solid gain of 9 before being brought down. 2nd and right at a yard. Now the Texans will burn the first of their timeouts as they'll stop it with a tick under a minute to go before half. That last catch short of the marker by just a yard leaves them with a very manageable 2nd and 1. Throwing again on 2nd down, but this time it's incomplete.
It is tough to complete passes against zone defenses. The windows that you see open, they shrink pretty rapidly. How about being able to hit a moving target against a zone before the next guy can get there and make a play on the ball?
Not easy for any quarterback, no matter the situation, and there the defense won the battle. And that little deke, the juke move that we saw, able to give him the 1st down yardage before he's brought down. Again, it's Watson. And the throw left sideline here is caught, but they'll rule it incomplete. Couldn't keep his feet in. 2nd down. They don't get the hook up there, but you really have to marvel at how precise he's been throwing the football these last couple weeks.
Oh, that's the perfect word for it, precise. Because if you're at 70% or better 2 weeks in a row, you have a job as long as you want one in this league, won't you? I mean, let's face it, it's not just West Coast offense either. He's putting the ball downfield as well.
Play action for Miller. Now Watson. That is caught. Hopkins for the Texans touchdown. DeAndre Hopkins as the first half is winding down. And the Texans push further out in front. Fairbairn good with the extra point. And that'll give them a 2-score lead here, but I'm looking ahead. They just want to hold it for the final moments here in the 2nd quarter. They don't want to give up anything on the other side. No, not at all, because if they don't, it almost had the feel of an imposing their will score. And right now, they want to make sure they keep that and carry it into the 2nd half. The offense back out there at the line, ready for their next drive. Time here for likely one play, then off to the locker room, and they're going to have some adjustments to make.
They certainly will, and I think a lot of people are thinking to themselves, all right, take the knee, get out of here, regroup. But how will the head coach and his staff approach halftime? Will it be angry? Will it be clinical? Will they be calm? Will they just let it all out? Who knows? I'm going to be a fly on the wall for this one, man.
Brought in over the middle by Grant. So, well, why don't we hold off on the halftime update after all? Seems like everyone's ready to go here for the second half in Week 8 in the NFL. This fielded at the 2. And not a bad return here. He gets it out to the 25-yard line. Houston's offense already at the line, set to get going. They built a good first-half lead. Now they have a chance to add on to it.
And what I'm thinking is that the offensive staff spent the entire halftime just working with them on, here's what we think they're going to do to attack us in the second half. Nice first half that we've had, guys, but be prepared for some change-ups. We're going to see them when we kick it off in the second half.
See how they handle any adjustments that might be made defensively. They run on first down as they're able to get this forward for about 4. It's a pickup of 4, and it'll bring up second down. Now a play fake, and it's Watson. Throw left side, complete to QT. And he's going to have another first down as the tackle comes at the Raiders' 38-yard line. So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. Watson, off play action. Caught left side, Hopkins. Touchdown, Houston. DeAndre Hopkins with his 3rd touchdown of the ball game, number 12 on the season. And the Texans push further out in front. Still plenty of time left in the game, but now starting to pull away a little bit, get some breathing room with that one.
And I don't want people to think that NFL locker rooms are cookie cutter, that everyone's saying the exact same thing in every situation. But I do know that all 32 teams have an emphasis on starting fast. Game, second half, no matter what. Whether it's first 5 minutes, first 3, whatever. This was a big score to start the second half.
So here comes the Raiders offense getting ready for their first possession of the second half. And their halftime hole now even deeper, and they need a big drive here just to answer the first touchdown of the second half scored against them.
They were down at the half. Now, as you mentioned, they're down a little bit bigger, but no time for discouragement. Just got to get back to it, right? Put your shoulder against the boulder and start pushing and try and get back to where you were to start the half.
From the 27, Carr. This is caught by Antonio Brown. And he's going to be taken down with another first down as the stop's made at the Texans' 45-yard line. Still in search of their first touchdown of the game, but they're on the move. 1st and 10. From the gun, it's Carr. Looking left side, and he's got a man. That's Grant. And he's got this down a yard or 2 shy of the 40 before he's out of bounds. That throw good for 4. It's second down. 4 yards on that last completion, so that sets up 2nd and 6. Now it's Crowell running right. He's got a first down or more inside the 30. And he'll take it into the end zone for a Raider touchdown. Isaiah Crowell, his 4th touchdown on the year. And the Raiders get a score closer. And on that long run, maybe the defense caught napping a little bit.
The concentration level may not have been there. I agree with you on that one, because those types of plays, when they result like that, they're almost like big bolts of lightning, aren't they? Whoosh, and off he goes.
This one fielded at the 5. And he'll take this across the 25, a couple extra yards, up to the 27-yard line. Out comes the Houston offense as they get set to take over here. They were able to extend their lead with an opening drive touchdown here in the 3rd quarter, but that just got matched a moment ago.
So we know that what they discussed at the half worked. Now, what are the counters to that, right? You don't just run the same things over and over. Some do, but many will.
Into a double team, and it's intercepted. LaMarcus Joyner with a pick, and they get the football. They'll set up shop at their own 49-yard line.
And, Brandon, this is a real nice job defensively of getting inside a quarterback's head and figuring out, okay, where's he going with the football? Because you can make an educated guess defensively. Not all the time, but sometimes. And when you're right, you've got a decent chance of coming away with the football.
10 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be second down. A good passing down here, and they send 3 receivers to the right of the formation on second down. Now Carr on the bootleg. Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Picked off by the corner, Bradley Roby. And his crew will take over with the football at the 35-yard line.
Oh, timing is everything on a route like this. He tried to drive that football into a tight spot. And if you're a little early or a little late, chances are there's going to be someone there. And sure enough, this one's going the other way.
Vontaze Burfict, the one to get him down. Faking the give. Now Watson. Throw left side complete. It's Hopkins. And he takes this one down almost all the way to the 30. The previous play, they barely got back to the line of scrimmage. Now they pick up over 30 yards. So the big play changes the complexion of things. Here's 1st and 10 just outside the 30. Now Watson. Oh, he's going to let this go for the end zone. Got a man open. It's Fuller for the Texans touchdown. Deshaun Watson, 4 touchdown passes now in the ball game. And the Texans push further out in front. And, partner, they found a gap there on the post pattern, and it was in the middle third of the field.
And that's really difficult to do because ordinarily the safeties are back there to prevent that happening. But they found the opening and exploited it.
And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. The offense now at the line, ready for their next drive. And here we are almost through 3 quarters of play, and this passing game still has not really found any kind of rhythm. And Crowell lost the football. And after getting tackled, he's still down and looking very slow to get up. While the training staff works on him, we'll step aside and be right back. Throwing on 2nd and long. Carr. 8 yards on the completion, but now they face 3rd down. This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down. Carr gives to Rashard, and they're going to get him down well short of the 1st as he can only get this to the 30. It's a pickup of 6, but it's not going to be enough. And the punt team's going to be summoned on 4th down.
Frustrating for a defense, energizing for an offense. Finding a way to create that type of yardage in your running game, that'll make the guys carrying the ball very, very happy.
12 yards on the return that time, and the Texans will take over with a 1st and 10. Getting set to go again, DeAndre Hopkins marches back onto the field. Where he stands right now, as you see, already over 1,000. You have to think 2,000 is a real possibility. Long way to go in the season, but what he's done so far, spectacular.
It is, and you know what he's also hoping for? He's going to play a lot of man coverage from here on out because one of the best ways to slow down production is to go to zone and double, triple team, put a number of people in the area that you expect him to run into. But man-to-man, every receiver believes he's going to win that battle. And you know what they all do? They all keep kind of a book, you know, on what the defenders do, what their moves are, their best.
He's got it at the 15. And they're going to be set up down around the 15-yard line. Back now in Houston, it's the Texans in control of the football and leading this game as well as we start the 4th. Now a throw to the end zone on 1st down, but it winds up incomplete. DeAndre Hopkins, the Pro Bowler, the intended receiver. That'll bring up 2nd down. To throw again on 2nd down. Watson got a man open. It's Fuller for the Texans touchdown. It's another touchdown pass for Deshaun Watson, his 5th of the afternoon. And the Texans push further out in front.
A lot of people might call this backyard football. Sometimes just understanding who you've got out wide and who you're going to throw it to. Give him an opportunity to go up and make a play, even when contested. Looks like that one worked out pretty well. The trust factor, in effect.
Just a 4-play drive that time. And it results in the Texans finding the end zone. This will be taken in at the 1. And his guys are going to start their drive right at the 20-yard line. The Raider offense set to get this drive started. And they're coming off a 3-and-out, my friend.
I think they've got to look at that play sheet and go to a spot that they haven't gone before. Time to shake things up a little bit to try and get this offense moving.
Okay, so how do you do that? How do you shake things up?
You look at what you called before, realize it hasn't worked
so well. Go to something else.
And maybe try and find one of those special plays from one of your better players, and maybe try and hit something big and get things going in the excitement area.
Back to the air on 2nd down. It's Carr. And he's got his tight end. This is Luke Wilson. And they'll get 8 out of this before being stopped at the 28. 2nd down pass play got him 8 yards. Now they've got a 3rd and a couple remaining. This is Rashard. And that one going nowhere from the start as he's met in the backfield and goes backwards.
Anytime you call an inside running play, you just know there should be a lot of congestion there. You're counting on your offensive line to take control of the line of scrimmage. That didn't happen in this case, and that play got bottled up.
Now a pass hauled in downfield. The 20. And all the way in. Touchdown, Oakland. Antonio Brown. His 4th touchdown on the year. And the Raiders make some inroads here on that deficit. So it was 4th down. They go deep to try to pick up the first. They pick up more than that. They pick up a score.
I'm not even sure the analytics guys would think that was a good gamble. 4th down there going for it. But they pressed the issue. And not only did they complete the pass downfield, how about the run after catch that ends up culminating in a touchdown? That's a huge play.
Carlson on for the PAT. And that'll cut the lead down now to 18. A 4-play drive spanning 80 yards. So still lots of work left to do, but here comes the onside kick. And the effort snuffed out. The Texans' hands team recovers. 4th quarter, they felt like they needed the football back. Unfortunately, they couldn't get it.
And I know we brought analytics into the game, and someone has said here that the data says that when a team's expecting an onside kick, 80% of the time, the team expecting it, they do actually recover the ball, which is what we saw here. I just wonder if that number is much more of a anecdotal type of a number. Kind of like when the coaches tell us, well, when you score on special teams, 93% of the time you win the game. I'm still waiting to see that number is empirical.
Miller. They give him 4 yards there. It'll be 2nd and 6. I'm guessing you'd say this is kind of the key here. Grind out some yardage, work on that clock, see if you can continue to tick it down.
Definitely. You want to bleed things out at this point, right? Continue to possess the football, gain some yardage, and put the onus on the defense. Do they have to use timeouts? What are they going to do to stop you? You're taking charge.
They got to get it to the 21 here on 3rd down. Here's Watson. And he'll find QT on the right side complete. And he'll be brought down with the 1st down and a late flag here, too. And he may get a few more tacked on for good measure. To give him the yardage on the pass and half the distance to the goal line.
Because they're inside the 30. So now you don't march off the full 15, right? You have half the distance to the goal. In any event, that's precious real estate given up.
That is caught. Hopkins for the Texans touchdown. 4 yards on the touchdown grab. And the Texans push further out in front. They were still throwing with a comfortable lead here late, and now that lead even more comfortable.
And your first thought is it bad blood that went into this one ahead of time, that maybe they're seeking some revenge or they just don't like them? But the other thing that always hits me is, are they worried about playoff positioning? Right? Are they worried about, do you need enough points in case there's a tiebreaker that comes into play later?
So after the touchdown, here's Fairbairn now to kick it away. This will be taken in at the 1. And he'll make it across the 20 as his guys will set up shop at the 23-yard line. The offense back out there at the line, ready for their next drive. And for them, a touchdown their last go-around. Obviously, they'll be hoping to do that again.
And when you start plotting for this drive, when you start thinking to yourself, okay, what are we going to do? You don't go away from what you did before because that worked, but you have to be prepared for wrinkles and counters because you know they'll make some adjustments. Brandon, they didn't get everything they wanted out of that play. But the tight end did. And I don't mean it in a positive way. Great job of him holding on after absorbing that big hit.
Now he's going to swing this one out to his running back. And he'll lose yardage here, going down back at the 28. They'll wind up losing 3 yards here. And that's going to bring up a 3rd down.
I thought that wasn't a bad time to call the screen. I thought late game, down on the scoreboard, had to figure they were expecting a pass downfield.
Yeah, so the edge rushers, they're coming. That could have hit big. You're right. Good recognition defensively to snuff that one out. Now a 3rd down throw, but it misses the target. Incomplete.
Okay, I'm not quite sure how to judge that one. Maybe didn't have enough legs underneath him. Mechanics might have been off. Maybe some fatigue. That one came up short.
That 4th quarter, maybe you do start to watch as the arm there, the leg's still there. This has been a tough game. And a great job on special teams to down it as this will be marked out inside the 5-yard line.
That is how you flip field position. That's an absolute bomb of a punt. Downs it inside the 5-yard line. Absolutely ideal.
From that position, you're hoping to get it down inside the 15, inside the 5. Superb. It's a gain of a yard, and it takes us to the 2-minute warning. Just 2 minutes remaining here in the 4th quarter of what has been a one-sided affair. So it's Texans football as we welcome you back. They've got a 2nd down now as they look to salt this one away. They'll run it again with Miller. And they are going to score again. Yet another touchdown as they just add to their totals. And that run massively increased his production in this game, and now he's over 100 yards.
And break out your calculator, partner, because his yards per carry went up significantly, right? Big-time jaunt all the way to the end zone.
So with the missed PAT in his rearview mirror, he goes back out to kick this one off. This will be taken in at the 1. And he'll take this one near the 25, call it the 26-yard line. The offense now at the line, ready for their next drive. They are just obviously getting shellacked here in this one, Charles. What's the message if you're a coach for this final drive in a lopsided game like this?
For a lot of coaches,
be honest.
Don't forget today. Don't forget what has happened out here.
Use that as ammo going forward.
Exactly. Take a great look at that scoreboard. Realize how poorly everything went for us today. Coaching, playing, the whole deal. And never forget it because
you're not going to want that feeling again.
No, you don't want that feeling again. And who knows? You may meet up with this team again.
They try to throw on 2nd down, but this one is incomplete. Carr going to try and throw on 3rd down. He gets it to Brown, complete. And he's going to be taken down with another 1st down as the stop's made at the Texans' 40. Now Carr. Oh, he dropped it. And that's pretty indicative of the way this one's gone. Now Carr, after the incomplete pass, brings him up 2nd and 10. On the counter, it's Corral. And he'll lose yardage here, back at the 41. It'll go as a loss of a yard, and it'll set up 3rd down. The Raiders on third down. They've converted 3 times in 8 chances. This is 3rd and 11. He's got a man. It's Williams. And they'll wind up getting this one all the way down inside the 20. The Raiders going to use one of their timeouts as the clock stops with 23 seconds to go in the game. The first down carry now for Crown. And running room scarce here. He's going to be stopped in his tracks at the line of scrimmage. Throwing on second down. Carr. And he's across for the touchdown. Too little, too late. But he does get in for 6.
No wonder you're grinning. You just beat me in our fantasy league.
Indeed I did, my good man.
And yeah, that touchdown counts for their team. But I think it counts more for the fantasy guys, doesn't it?
Yeah, it's just something maybe positive to look at on film. But this one's over, let's be honest.
Yeah, I agree with you totally on that one.
Extra point by Carlson, up and good. And the decision to just kick the extra point winds up successful. That's fielded in the end zone. And he'll bring it a few past the 20 to the 23-yard line. The Texans offense ready to go here for their next drive. And this one all over but the shouting, you might say. Now, there's one timeout remaining defensively, but probably no real need to use it here.
Yeah, the only time they would use it, strictly for pride.
Now we'll get whistles, and they've signaled for a timeout. Not sure I see the logic in this, but we'll get a stoppage anyway with 5 seconds remaining. Again, it's Miller. And another mistake here defensively as a flag is down on the tackle, and that's going to tack on 15 more. They're down here in the 4th, and that personal foul penalty is not going to help.
No, in these types of situations, players will tell you that's extra intensity. From where we sit, it's actually frustration. Not a good play.
And now it's 1st and 10. A big mistake, especially when you factor in the personal foul yardage. After the penalty, it's Miller. And they'll get this just to the 47, 1-yard gain. Well, Charles, it's one thing to win. It's another thing to win and put up the amount of points.